Let's
Yeah,
start, Jill. I mean, first of all, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks for your time. For people who maybe don't realise, what a glittering career you had, and what a great way to finish it was as well. Perhaps you just give us your backstory from a playing point of view.
sure. First of all, thank you for the opportunity as well. So that's great to have this as well. So I started playing cricket on the edge of a cricket pitch in Craythorne, not too far from Yarm. And a lady who was doing the teas that day came out and said, "Do you fancy having a go at a ladies' cricket team?" So I said I would. And about a week later, I ended up at Hutton Bonville, taking the fences down that kept the cows off the wicket. So from there to Lords in 10, 15 years was just a fantastic progression, really. So it went from there, and I was very lucky to play for North Riding, which at the time was a Saturday team, and got spotted from there and went on to start playing for Yorkshire in 1984. So very quick um, rise to the county game, which I was, just flabbergasted with, really. And my first county game was in the middle of Thirsk Racecourse, and those times back then when you first start playing county cricket, you don't know anybody else, and but I remember bowling my left arm medium paces, and woman nicks off, keeper takes it, and everybody comes running round me, and I thought, oh, I've got a wicket. That's great. Oh, she's only the England opening bat at the time, Chris Watmore. So my first wicket in county cricket was the England opening bat. But it's lovely when you don't know who these people are and you don't have the fear. If you're bowling now and you're saying you're bowling to Heather Knight, you might have a little bit of fear because your knowledge of that person, sort of thing. So from there, in 1984, I had a couple of England trials. 1985, I had an England trial, and then I made the England squad in 1986. And England were at home in a series against India. We didn't play as much as they do now. I mean, the women's team seems to mirror the men's team if they're in Australia or if they're in New Zealand, or if India are here, then the women's Indian team are here. We didn't have anything like that. There was maybe a full tour like that every 2 years, every 2.5 years. So I was fortunate enough to go to a World Cup in 1988 in Australia and play a few. We had a lot of European Cups there, Netherlands, Denmark, Ireland, at home here in Europe. And then, of course, the 1993 World Cup at Lords, where we actually won the World Cup, which was just fabulous.
And you made a pretty big contribution with the ball.
I did on that final day. I think we were really lucky as an England team. About, I don't know, six or seven of us had played at Lords before. We played there in 1987 against a visiting Australian team. And I think the impact of walking out onto that Lords pitch, bearing in mind, I never played at Headingley. We were at Yorkshire, we were allowed to play at Harrogate and York and Thirsk, but we never actually got on the hallowed turf of Headingley back then. So to walk onto that pitch was kind of formidable, bit overwhelming, and I think the Kiwis really felt it that day, that it was quite something. So I think we were a little bit more relaxed than them, but thoroughly enjoyed my bowling that day. And just, watching my teammates play great cricket, Joe Chamberlain, Jeanette Britton, Carol Hodges, we pulled together as a team that day, and it was fantastic.
Well, that day, but it sounds like you've been slightly modest because reading through the records, I think I'm right in saying that you still have the lowest average of anybody qualifying in terms of career longevity for England women, correct?
Sure. Yeah, I do. I do. I think the game's changed a lot since then. We didn't play quite as an aggressive form of cricket as they do now. But you still got to do it. I remember we had a coach, Ruth Prideaux, sadly passed away now, who coached us during that World Cup with current players president Kevin Sharp. He was on our coaching team that tour, and they had us bowling on to hit little mats. And that we'd had some of that experience before, but they had us bowling in partnerships, and we had to hit these little mats on a line and length. And you know what? That was a fantastic. I could hit that mat just about every time, and it was more about consistency for me, and people just getting frustrated and then trying the big launch or just nicking off really. So I got 5 for 30 against Australia that summer as well at Guildford, and I mean this. I went, today I'd be maybe on social media or be something, Sky Sports might report it on news. I went to phone my mum and dad to tell them because there was nothing, no mobile phones. And my mum was kind of like, oh, yeah, you've been on radio. You've been on radio too. It's fantastic, But look at the coverage that they get these days through Sky Sports, through the likes of yourself, Jonathan, on streaming channels as well. It's fantastic for the women, the coverage that they're getting.
Yeah, a lot of progress recently, and obviously you'll know Jane and Jane Powell, who's been on the comms with us quite a bit, and you'll doubtless know Romper as well, from her playing days and all that. And of course
Yeah.
now she's in an administrative role. Those are the sort of people I've got to know, great people. And just, like growing up playing lads cricket, that camaraderie that you've got with people that you don't see for years
Oh,
sometimes, and then it's just like you walked out of the dressing room yesterday and come back in again today, and it's the same feeling for you.
absolutely. Absolutely the same at all levels. So it would be 2 years ago that Jane Powell started the women's section of the Yorkshire Players Association and got quite a few of us back together and got caps presentation. We never had caps back in our day, so we're very proud to receive our caps. And I probably hadn't seen Jane before then for maybe 15 years, 20 years, but we sat next to each other, chatted about her captaincy role in the World Cup in Australia, some of the memories that we had of that tour. Romper very much the same. And we all bond, and when you've been away on tour with people for 6 weeks, you get to know them quite well, and you look out for each other. We were all sort of 20, 24 between that. Jane a little bit older as captain, but we still to this day. And in writing the book this year, I met somebody at Lord's I hadn't seen for 30 years, and we sat down and went through some of our back history. And it's not just the 5 for 30s and the 38 not outs. It's the kind of, do you remember that time when so and so fell over the boundary, and of course we used skirts then, so it wasn't that enticing when you fell over the boundary back in them days.
No, no, yeah. Well, that's a completely different story altogether, isn't it, these days as well? Another of those changes to
Absolutely.
modernise the game and bring women's cricket into the 21st century. You touched on it there in terms of that camaraderie and that sort of you can tell, your love for the game just by listening to
Yeah.
you talk. And fully expecting when I read these two books that you've got coming out, I think concurrently, that's
Yes.
gonna shine through. So do you want to tell us more about, well, how that started in the first place and where you've got to with it?
Right. So I met the guy. I play a lot of golf now, as cricketers never give up, do we? We just take up golf instead. And I met a guy at a golf club that I'm playing at up here in Northumberland, and Neil Brinston, and he's a photographer. He was a photographer during as an amateur, but once he finished his career, he decided to concentrate more on his photography, and he published a book, What Football Means to Me. And he came into the golf club and he showed me it, and I flicked through it and I said, "Oh, it's all right, Neil." But I says, cricketers have got more about them than that. I says, should do a cricket one. So he looked at me and he said, "Are you up for it?" And I said, "Yeah, yeah, we do it for charity." And what it is it's Neil takes a photograph of the person, and we ask them to write 300 words. Some of them stuck to that, some of them didn't, about what cricket means to them. And you know what comes through, Jonathan, is exactly what you're saying: is that camaraderie, that family, that friendship, and how cricket. There's some stories in there that are quite quite truly heartwarming about
Hmm.
how people have changed their lives, saved their lives by playing cricket. And so it is about, we've got grassroots cricketers, we've got some of the lads from Bamburgh up here, some of the lads from Kildale in North Yorkshire, and right through to Dan Moriarty and Ben Cliff. So we've got the whole range of players and quite a few administrators and scorers and umpires as well. And what's really interesting is right through the game, it's about turning up, getting in that changing room, getting ready to play, having a bit of banter with each other, teasing each other about last week's game, and looking forward to playing together as a team and forgetting, we all have busy lives and there's a lot of not very nice things going on in the world. Just that opportunity to get out on that field, forget about it, and enjoy a cricket match. And that comes through with all these ladies and guys that we've got in the book um, fantastically well.
Okay, so working as I've kind of been taught in a radio sense, um, 3 words per second. We're looking at 90 seconds then, 300 words.
Right?
Take it away, Jill. What does cricket mean to you?
Blimey. I decided not to do a piece in the book because I got quite emotional about what cricket means to me. So cricket makes you belong to something, I think, and I think that once I started playing cricket, I did definitely have that sense of belonging to both, my Saturday teams, North Riding, through Yorkshire, right through to England, and throughout my career on the pitch, playing as a team, getting those supports from people. You've got good times and bad times playing cricket. We all hear a lot now about mental health support for the players. Through actually, we're raising funds for the Yorkshire Players Association and the PCA, the Professional Cricket Association. But we didn't have that support back then. But I got that type of support from those people, um, not only on the pitch, but when you're feeling a bit down, when you've lost somebody, or when you're changing jobs or moving house, do you need any help? All those sorts of things. So I do really think that my cricket career has brought me a second family, definitely.
That is a great way to sum things up. I think both, our mutual love of the sport. It's been great to find out more about you and the books. So, publisher is who? How much are people going to be paying for it, and when's it coming out?
Right. So we started with the book and then ran into Jane and Kevin Sharp at Headingley whilst we were actually taking the first set of pictures. So we've still continued with the PCA book, and we've done one with just people from Yorkshire as well. There is a little bit of overlap. Yorkshire people are in the PCA book as well. So the PCA book, bit bigger, £18. The Yorkshire book, £15. And they both get launched on March the 27th. They're available to buy via a website, which is www.whatcricketmeanstome.co.uk. And we're doing launches in Alnwick in Northumberland. That's near where I live. So that's a bit of a trial run. The PCA have asked us to do one at the Oval on Friday, April the 10th. But the big launch is on Friday, May the 15th at Headingley during the first day of the county championship match, I think against Surrey that day
All
it
right,
is.
Jill, great talking to you. Thanks very much, and we wish you the very best of luck with the book from White Rose Files.
Smashing. Thank you so much for your support, Jonathan. I really appreciate it. Thank you.